open the cell door for some reason. I think might be needing some Q20 or some oil, but they're still trying to open the cell door.
My lord, we've got a difficulty. The cell that we put the prisoners in, we can't get the cell open, so it seems it's a problem with that lock. We're trying our best to open it.
There's no other exit or entrance. Not in here.
There's a cell 2 and that key. So we are stuck with it now. I'm going to try to open it with a hangover. So we'll try and open it.
So we put some dark over.
Let me ask for 10 minutes, General.
Okay.
Thank you, my lord.
Are we ready? Yes, Mr. Ramsey.
If it may please the court, my lord, I'm indebted. Now, Colonel, we were at that part where you now interpret the statement to accused number 2. You've read it back to him. You give it to him. He reads it. Then he signs it. Is that your testimony?
That's correct.
Yebo ubufakazi bami ukuthi ngengamtolikela umsolwa istatement futhi ngamfundela sona ngamnika sona naye wasifunda mayiqeda wasaya.
Now, just the one this other aspect, not the last one, this one aspect where you say your observation of the accused person, accused number 2 that was brought before you, he was clean, he was shining, he looked like he was working somewhere. Accused number 2 has testified in this court that since the arrest on 16 June 2020, he had never taken bath because his family didn't know where he was. He was only brought toiletries and given money to buy further toiletries by a Mr. Jack Buthelezi on the 13th of July 2020.
I will disagree with that. He was so jubilant and happy. I do not know what was happening with him.
I'm talking about clothing. I'm not talking about demeanor.
It's fine. The clothing was good.
Uyaphika futhi ukuthi wawukade impahla zakho zingekho kahle yena uthi wawungangconanga ngalelo langa futhi na wawukade ujabulile.
Now, your testimony is that as you are with accused number 2 in the room allocated for you to obtain the statement, you hear a knock and somebody brings food. At what stage during that statement taking did you hear that knock? Had you already started with the pro forma, the main statement, or was this still during whatever you were doing with accused number 2?
It was still in the beginning.
uthi ke uzwe sekukokodwa laphayana kunethwa ukudla kwakade kunini besisoqalile besisophakathi mhlawumbe akusichazisela ukuthi bekunini uthi bekusaqalwa.
And then you then take a break for accused number 2 to have his meal. That's your evidence. How long a break did you take?
It was almost like 30 to 40 minutes.
Ye wathatha ke ukhefu ukuthi umsolo wesibini adle uthathe ikhefu elingakanani uthi bekunemizuzu mhlawumbe engayeya kwe-30 noma kwemizuzu eyi-40.
Now, this aspect of a break for accused number 2 to be fed of 30, 40 minutes, the knock at the door for accused number
ukuthi umsolo adle uthi abengaboni ukubaluleka kwakho ngaleso sikhathi ngikhona ngobufakazi.
And did you record anywhere that at some stage during your interaction with accused number 2, you were interrupted by somebody bringing a meal? You were interrupted by accused number 2 having a meal?
No, if you can see the time I took to take the statement, you are able to see that there was something that might have happened in between.
I was not present there, Kenneth. That will be my questions, my lord. As the court
Manje ke
proceeds.
kukhona la ubhale khona ukuthi
Yes, Mr.
umsolo
Mnisi.
uyena thatha isikhathi njengoba wayekade
Mr. Nxumalo.
elibele edla uthi cha akukho la kade yenzeka lapho.
Thank you, my lord. I have no questions. Thank you.
Mshololo.
No questions, my lord.
Any re-examination? Yeah, me just for that this statement was actually indeed made by the person who is supposed to have made it. Are you with me, Captain?
Correct, my lord.
Kenneth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ngemva kokuthi kuthiwe lokuyagonyuluka kwakade kwenziwe umuntu kuyena obekade efisa ukugonyuluka kwamele abashushisi babonise ukuthi ngempela umsolwa okukhulunywa ngaye lo okubhalwe igama lakhe ukuthi uyena obekade egonyuluka lapho.
Yeah, just a few questions.
I do not know it.
Okay.
Umthokoziseni uyamazi uthi cha. uMaphisa uyamazi uthi cha. uZungu uyamazi uthi cha. Uthi uCarlos uyamazi uthi cha angimazi.
Nkani, a person called Nkani, do you know him?
No, my lord.
Unkani yena uyamazi uthi cha angimazi.
Njabulo,
No, my lord.
uNjabulo uyamazi uthi cha angimazi.
Lulama,
No, my lord.
uLulama yena uyamazi uthi cha angimazi Nkosi enkantolo.
before you took this statement from Mr. Danzi, did you know him?
I didn't know him, my lord.
Ngaphambi kokuthi uwenze uthathe lesi statement kusuka kumnumzana uNtanzi wawukade umazi na uthi cha bengingamazi. Bowazi ukuthi usebenza.
No, it's the information that I got from him. I do not know.
Nale ndawo la bekade ehlala khona e3125 phase 2 eRustenburg ubokade ukwazi ukuthi cha bengingayazi ngizwe ngaye.
And his identification number? ID number?
He's the one that who gave me his ID number, my lord.
Inombolo yakhe yozaziso iID number uyazi kanjani uthi nginikwe uyena?
during the taking of the statement from accused number 2, were there any, before you wrote what you say accused number 2 told you, was there any stage where you asked for clarity before you were clear from what you were saying? Did you at some stage ask for clarity?
No, because I wrote when
ubhala uthi cha ngoba uma ekhuluma okokuqala angizange ngibhale ngamlalela ngemva kwalokho ngamtshela ke ukuthi sengiyabhala ke manje kula ngiyengaqala ukubhala.
Okay, thank you. Kenna?
thank you, my lord.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
The court pleases. My lord, the state will request that the next witness, Colonel M.M. Mboto, be recalled. Given my colleagues copies of Exhibit FF, which I also give to the court. We're sitting with the original of Exhibit HH of the previous witness. I think we'll just make a bundle of all the
Yeah.
originals for the court.
Yeah, please. Sir.
Hlanganyelwa
The truth, if you do swear, please raise your right hand and say, so help me God.
me God.
Witness is on in, my lord.
Colonel Mboto, you've already testified in the trial within a trial
Yes, my Lord.
regarding Exhibit FF. Now, the court has ruled that the evidence regarding FF is admissible. If I can then ask you to go to paragraph 13 of Exhibit FF.
Usowuphane ngobufakazi kule nkantolo futhi inkantolo yona ithe lokho bufakazi buyavumeleka. Ngizocela ukuthi uye ku paragraph 13.
Just to give some background, you've already testified, but just put that on record, just to contextualize your evidence.
As the court pleases, paragraph 13, since it appears that the deponent is in his sound, sober senses, has not been unduly influenced to understand his rights as prescribed by Section 35 of the Constitution, freely and voluntarily wishes to make a statement, he is informed that he may now proceed.
Manje-ke la ku paragraph 13 ithi njengoba kubonakala ukuthi umuntu lo ozoyenza lesi statement yena ukhululekile, manje-ke yena usekayacebiswa ngamalungelo wakhe okuya ngomthetho sisekelo, ukhululekile no ukuthi angayenza lesi statement yena manje sekangaqhubeka.
Yes.
On 2014, between September and October, it was Sabata, in bracket, which is Saturday. My friend Marco Buthelezi and Makimba Buthelezi entered the house and demanded cell phone, and they shot the now deceased. On that week, in that year, during the week, it was on Wednesday, I was at my place at hostel in Fostoras, at Basutu section, and I received the call from my friends Mako Buthelezi and Makimba Buthelezi. Both were staying at Phosphorus Hostel, but Zulu section. The person who was calling me was Mako, but I heard on the background that he was with Makimba. I told them that I am present, and he said he is coming with Makimba. Paragraph 2. Few minutes, they arrived by Polo, white in color, and it was driven by Makimba. But the owner of the Polo is Mako. Both, they are from Kwanongoma in KZN. I just entered the car and sit at the back seat. Mako said to me, there is a job we need to do. I asked them what job, and Mako said they were hired by Kelly to kill Senzo. And I asked the suspect, which Kelly and which Senzo? The suspect said Kelly Kumalo. And paragraph 3, I asked them if they already charged the money, and they said yes. They charged 100,000, both Mako and Makimba charged for the killing. Mako was the one who was having dreadlocks, and Makimba was wearing the cap, red in color, and I was wearing the white cap. Those caps were wearing on Saturday, and the one with dreadlocks was wearing the wool hat. The accused remind me that in order not to mix the days, in brackets. Sometimes we drove, same time, we drove to the traditional healer, Mkulu, as we used to call him, and he is from Swaziland. This is the traditional healer we use to go to before we commit a crime. He is from Swaziland. Paragraph 5. The Inyanga stays at Katle home at Palm Ridge, and we entered there, 3 of us. Mako is the one who explained to the traditional healer, Mkulu, in brackets, that we want to check if we are going to succeed in doing this job. He further mentioned to Mkulu that we are going to kill Senzo Meyiwa, and we were bought or hired by Kelly Kumalo, who was the girlfriend to Senzo Meyiwa. Mako told us that Kelly won money from Senzo, but he never told Mkulu that. Mkulu, traditional healer, checked for us and said we are going to succeed to kill the said person. And he also gave us protection medicine and belts to put on the arms or at our waist, which was going to make us to succeed in killing him and to protect us from any danger. We paid Mkulu 50 rand for checking our job. When we finished the job, we decided that we must pay him 5,000.
Just
We must
read
pay
those.
him Mkulu 5,000, and we left to the hostel, and they left me there to their places of residence. I sat at my place, and we never spoke till Saturday, in bracket Sabata. When I received the call from Mako, where he told me that we are going afternoon to the work which we're planning to do. They never told me the time, but they arrived at about 18 hours, and they took me by the very symbol. I was sitting at the back seat. Makimba was driving. The vehicle drove to the address for Storas, and the vehicle parked by the corner as Makimba was driving. While we were driving to the place, Marco received the call, and I heard Marco answering the phone and said, "We are on the way, coming." In brackets, paragraph 9. After dropping the call, he told us that Kelly is calling and want to know if we are coming. Then we alighted at the corner and we walked on foot to the house. And the firearm was with Marco. And he asked who was going to enter the house. We discussed that we will make us as if we are committing robbery. And the firearm was one, and it was at Marco possession. Marco asked who was going to get in, and I tell them, no, me, I'm going to stand outside and watch if there is somebody who comes in and disturb us. I must quickly report. Marco and Makimba got into the house, and Marco was the only one who was in possession of the firearm. Number 11, they entered and closed the door and demanded cell phones. According to them, they said they found 3 people in the house. That was Meyiwa and 2 girls in the dining room with cell phone. And he stood and grabbed each other with Marco. Marco took out the firearm and shot at him. Kelly ran to the bedroom and came back while still pushing each other. And the sound of the firearm came out. As the result, Kelly ran back to the bedroom, and the shots came 2 times again. And they came out running, and we ran into the car, which was parked at the corner of the street. We drove to the hostel, and they said they never took anything, cell phone or money. Early in the morning, I received a call from Marco and said he was going to go and collect the money from Kelly. At about 9 o'clock, I received the money from Marco, who told me that we have rewarded for our job. He gave me 30,000 for my share. We agreed, 3 of us, to go to give Mkulu 5,000 for his assistance in this job. Mkulu helped us to rinse ourselves with other medicine to remove the bad luck. 13, we came back to the room where they dropped me and they left. Nobody came to us or police. The story was quiet. I read that somebody is arrested in this case, and I know that it was the wrong person, and it took short time, and both of them were arrested for the crimes. The firearm that
For other crimes.
paragraph 14, for other crimes. Thank you, my lord. The firearm that was used, sold to Mtobi's stall from Umsinga in KZN. That is the firearm that was used to kill Senzo, which was owned by Marco Buthelezi. Makimbi Buthelezi were arrested at KZN, and Marco was killed by the police at Davidton during the arrest. They were arrested after 2 months. And then after all the statements have been submitted and written down, my lord, I read back to the accused and make some rectification where it's supposed to. And
Yes,
then he understood.
we'll get to that. Just give the interpreter chance.
Nasi statement ke phakathi kwenyanga kaSeptember noOctober bekukade kuyisabatha umgqibelo umngani wami uMakho Buthelezi noMakhimbi Buthelezi bayebeza endlini bona bacela ucingo badubula umufi ngalelo viki kulonyaka phakathi kweviki bekade kungoLesithathu uma beza ehosteli endaweni yami ePhumulong eBasuthwini section ngiye ngathola ucingo kusuka kubangani bami uMakho Buthelezi noMakhimbi Buthelezi bobabini bebakade behlala ePhumulong bebahlala eFosloras Hostel eZulu section lo muntu obekade engishayela ucingo kwakade kuMakho kodwa ngiye ngezwa emuva ukuthi uMakhimbi ubekade ekhona ngingabatshela ukuthi ngikhona bona bathi bayeza weza noMakhimbi ngemva kwemizuzwana baye bafika ngepholo emhlophe ebekade ishayelwa uMakhimbi kodwa umnikazi waleyo pholo kwakade kuMakho bobabini bona bebakade besuka kwaNongoma eNatal ngiyengangena emotweni ngahlala emuva uMakho wangazisa ukuthi kunomsebenzi okwamele siwenze ngababuza ukuthi omuphi umsebenzi obakade bekhuluma ngawo bathi baqashwe uKelly ukuthi kubulawe uSenzo ngabuza ukuthi omuphi uKelly obakhuluma ngaye nomuphi uSenzo kulayi ukuthi abasolwa bona baye bathi uKelly Khumalo noSenzo Meyiwa yilabo ebekade bekhuluma ngabo ngabuza ke ukuthi bese bashilo ukuthi kwamele bazokhokhelwa malini bathi yebo bona bese sebakhulume ukuthi bazokhokhelwa imali elingana no100,000 imali ebekade izonikwa uMakho noMakhimbi ukuthi kubulawe uMakho yena wayekade kuumuntu obekade enama dreadlocks uMakhimbi yena wayekade efake ikepisi red ikepisi elibomvu ngombala mina ngangade ngifake ikepisi elimhlophe sasikade sifake lawo makepisi ngomgqibelo omunye lo bekade enama dreadlocks yana wayekade efake impahla eyewool eyikuthi umsolwa obekade and this
In order to mix, or he was explaining in order to not mix the days.
ubekade engitshela ukuthi ngingahlanganisi amalanga saqhubeka ke sashayela imoto kuyiwa kumkhulu obekade simbiza kanjalo yena ubekade esuka eSwaziland lo mkhulu ubekade kuyinyanga ebekade sinokuya kuye ukumasiyo ngaphambi kokuthi siyoyenza amacala bekade ephuma eSwaziland lenyanga lena yayikade ihlala eKatlehong ePalm Ridge sangena ke kuye uMakho yena ke wachazisela inyanga umkhulu njengoba sasikade simbiza ukuthi asihlole ukuthi siyokwazi ukuthi siqhubeke na noma siyenze lo msebenzi wenzeke uma siya kulo msebenzi uphinde futhi yena wachaza ukuthi bachazisela umkhulu ukuthi sasikade siyobulala uSenzo Meyiwa ukuthi sasikade siqashwe uKelly Khumalo obekade eyintombi yakhe uSenzo Meyiwa. Umakho waqhubeka futhi wachaza nokuthi uKelly Khumalo wayekade efuna imali kuSenzo kodwa akazange achazisele umkhulu okunye ukusuka lapho. Umkhulu inyanga leyana iye yahlola ke ukuthi sizokwazi ukuthi siqhubeke ngalomsebenzi lona. Yena ke uye washo ukuthi yebo sizokwazi ukuthi siqhubeke ngalomsebenzi futhi uzosinika ikhambi ebelikade lizosivikela ekwenzeni lo msebenzi ekwade kube kwamele sigcobisele lo khambi ezandleni nasekhalweni. Futhi ke uye washo ukuthi sizokwazi ukuthi siwenze lo msebenzi wokuyobulala lo msebenzi uzoyenzeka futhi sizovikeleka. Yena ke umkhulu siye samnika ithema eqeda siye sathatha isinqumo sokuthi ngemva kokuthi siqede sizomnika imali elingana no 5,000 rand. Siye sahamba ke saphuma lapho endaweni yakhe saphuma ke kuleyo ndawo yakhe la bekahlala khona. Ngahlala ke mina endaweni la bengihlala khona ngomgqibelo kufikela ngomgqibelo isabatha la ngengathola ucingo kumakho eyewangitshela ukuthi bekwamele ke manje sizilungiselele ukuya la kule ndawo ebesikade sikhulume ngawo. Abazange bangitshele isikhathi kodwa bona baye bafika ntambama uma ihora kwelesithupha la ngiye ngathathwa ngaleyo moto ebengikade ngiyichazile. Ngiye ngahlala emuva uMakhimbi bekade kuye obeshayela imoto. Imoto iye yahamba ke yaya eFosloras. Leyo moto leyo ifike iyapaka ekhoneni uMakhimbi wakade kuye oshayelayo. Ithema sashayela khona lapho umakho uye wathola ucingo. Ngamuzwa umakho aphendula ucingo athi sisendleleni. Ngemva kwalapho umakho uye wasitshela ukuthi uKelly uyena lo bekade eshaya ucingo ngimtshele ukuthi sisendleleni siyeza. Ngemva kwalapho sahlika ke emotweni sahamba ngeinyawo ukuya kuleyo ndlu leyo. Isibhamu ebesikade sikhona sasikade siphethwe umakho. Yena uye wabuza ukuthi ubani ozongena endlini.
We discussed that.
Siye sakhuluma ke ukuthi
Make as if we are doing.
sasikade sisodwa sasikade siphethwe umakho. Umakho ke yena wabuza ukuthi is going to get ubani ozongena phakathi endlini. Mina ngiye ngasho ukuthi ngizoma ngaphandle ngibheke ukuthi akunamuntu ozayo ozosithikazisa njengoba siyenza lo msebenzi ngokusheshsha. Umakho noMakhimbi bona baye bangena endlini. Umakho uyena obekade ephethe isibhamu. Baye bangena endlini bavala umnyango bafika bafuna ama cellphone. Ukuya ngabo baye bathi bathole abantu abathathu endlini kwakade kuMeyiwa nabantu besifazane ababini bebahleli edining room. Omunye wabo bambana nomke umakho ebekade engazisa ukuthi bezoza bayolanda imali kuKelly. Khona lapho ekseni ngabo 9 ngiye ngathola imali ebekade isuka kumakho engitshele ukuthi sikhokheliwe njengoba siyenze umsebenzi. Banginikile imali elingana no 30,000 rand ebekade imali banginika yona ingxenye yami siye savumelana ubuthathu bethu ukuthi umkhulu sizomnika i-5,000 rand. Yes.
assistance.
Sizomnika i-5,000 rand njengoba esisizile kulo msebenzi. Umkhulu usisizile ukuthi sigeze ngeminye imithi ukususa lo bumnyama obukade busembethe. Siye sabuyela emuva erumini laba ebangishiya khona. Akuzange kube namuntu obekade eyazise amaphoyisa le ndaba lena njengoba siye savumelana ukuthi sithule. I heard. Ngiye ngezwa ukuthi kunomuntu obekade eboshiwe kuleli cala. Bengade ngazi ukuthi ababophanga umuntu okuyena oyenze leli cala. Ngemva it took time. Kuthathe isikhathi esifishane ukuthi bobabini baboshwe kwamanye amacala. Isibhamu lesi besikade sisetshenzisiwe esaka Mthobisi Sithole obekade ephuma eMsinga eKZN. Ileso sibhamu esisetshenzisiwe ukudubula uSenzo Meyiwa esiye besikade kuyisibhamu saka Makho Buthelezi. uMakhimbi Buthelezi uye waboshwa eKwaZulu Natal. uMakho yena uye wabulawa amaphoyisa eDaveyton ngemva ngalesikhathi beza bambopha baboshwe ngemva kwenyanga ezimbili. Thank you, my lord. I have tried reading the difficult handwriting.
Yeah.
And nizwile bafethu into lebengizama ukuyifunda njengoba ibhalwe kanjani. As the court pleases and the accused also nods their heads to say they understood as I was reading the statement.
It's there at the bottom.
As the court pleases, my lord, the signature is for the accused and his right thumbprint for each and every page.
Ake uchazeke ukusayina lapho uthi ukusayina okwamsola futhi nesithupha esakhe sesandla sebudla.
Next to that signature is my signature, my lord.
Bese phambi kwaleyo signature nami ngiye ngasayina.
Yes, and just read the last portion there.
Paragraph,
On the last page of the annexure.
I think the last page of the annexure, my lord,
Yes, the last paragraph.
that I never read. Observation,
No, the one that says the above statement.
oh, that one is written on the annexure. The above statement was obtained by me from the suspect at Deep Kloof,
Poiseni sase Dikloof ngo-12 emini.
and not a mini, it was written as a mini, but it's 12 midnight, my lord.
Uthi kubhalwe u-12 okubonakala ku-12 wasemini kodwa istatement siyenziwe ngo-12 ebusuku.
Yes, if you look, exhibit FF down.
Thatha lesi statement uthi lesi sengichazile enkantolo ukuthi kwakade ku-quarter to 10 ebusuku.
If I can then ask you to turn to paragraph 14 of the preamble.
As the court pleases, my lord. Paragraph 14, on completing the statement, it is right changing the statement. He seems it necessary. Note down whether he also read through the statement. The suspect never read the statement himself, but only rectified the officer about the day when the cabs were worked by them on paragraph 3. My Lord, he rectified the days of the cab. Remember, they were met in 2 days. So he rectified that is when they were wearing those caps. Paragraph 14.2.
Yeah, just before the paragraph 3 of, when you refer to paragraph.
Paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 of the annex, my Lord.
Yes.
Of the annex.
Yes, 14.2.
Appointed by an interpreter. It was read back by the officer, which is myself, my Lord. Paragraph 15. The following question are now put to the deponent. 15.1. Are you satisfied that which you stated has been noted down correctly? Yes, I am satisfied. Is answer from the accused. Paragraph 15.2. Do you have any complaint as to the manner in which I took down the statement? The answer, no, I don't have any complaint. 15.3. Are you satisfied with interpreter? Answer, I am satisfied the way the officer translate to me. Place 00, my Lord, and then signature.
Manje ke uma eqhubeka kuthiwa ake usifundele njengoba wawukade unomsolwa ukuthi niye nakhuluma kanjani ukuya ngalamaphepha. Kulamaphepha ke kuyashiwo ukuthi istatement siye safundelwa umsolwa na kuthiwa umsolwa asizange sifundelwe akazange afundelwe lesi statement kodwa akazange asifunde yena ngokwakhe kodwa uye wacela iphoyisa ukuthi lona aliyenze inguquko ezithize laphayana ku paragraph 3 iphoyisa uma lichaza lithi inguquko kulabe kade ekhuluma ngamakepisi ngalesikhathi ezebe echaza indaba yamakepisi ngoba ukhulume ngamakepisi ngamalanga amabili alandelelanayo. Statement lesi siye safundelwa na umsolwa kuthiwa istatement sifundwe ilona iphoyisa. Mbuzo olandelayo wena weneselekile na ngalesi statement njengoba sibhalwe kanjalo uthi impendulo ebuye kumsolwa ithe yebo ngeneselekile. Manje unaso isikhalazo mhlawumbe ngalendlela ukuthi istatement sibhalwe ngaso impendulo ebuye kumsolwa ithe cha anginaso isikhalazo. Manje omunye olandelayo umbuzo uthe weneselekile futhi nangotoliki bese impendulo esuka kumsolwa yona iye yathi mina ngeneselekile ngalendlela iphoyisa lingichazisele istatement ngakhona futhi sasikade sibhalwe eDekloof nge-30 zika May ku-2020 ngo-12 ebusuku.
Just for record purposes, whose statement have you just read out? Who was the deponent?
As the court pleases, the deponent is Mzika Ukhulelwa, Senzo Meyiwa.
Esakabani lesi statement wawusanda ukusifunda manje? Statement esaka Mzika Ukhulelwa, Senzo Meyiwa.
And you confirm the correctness of both the preamble and the annexure?
That's correct, my Lord, I confirm.
Uyavuma ukuthi istatement nalamaphepha lamanye lawa kade etypiwe kuyiqiniso uthi yebo ngiyavuma ngosenkantolo.
So court, please, my Lord, we request that the annexure, the statement itself, be handed up as Exhibit FF in brackets 1.
Yes.
Thank you, that is all, my Lord.
Yes, Mr. Mngumzulu.
Sir, is that your evidence that the author of this statement was Mzika Ukhulelwa, Senzo Meyiwa?
Yes, my Lord.
ubufakazi bakho ukuthi umuntu obhale lesi statement umuzi kawukhulelwa
What makes you to say that he's the author of this statement?
because he was with me.
By Muzi Sibiya.
Sibiya uthi yebo.
All right, I just want to clarify certain aspects on this. You are not the author of the statement, but you took the statement from Moses Sibiya. Is that so?
That's correct, my lord.
Uthi mina iqiniso angiyena umbhali walesi statement ngisithathe kumuzi.
In terms of the statement, do you want to go to paragraph 1,
Yes, my lord.
please?
Yes, my lord. I was told like that.
Ukuya ngalesi statement siyenzakele sikhuluma ngento eyenzakele ngomgqibelo
So-
uthi yebo iqiniso.
Correct. This statement talks about 3 people. It talks about Muzi, Makimbi, and Marco. Correct?
In first paragraph, there are 3, my lord.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Le statement sikhuluma ngabantu abathathu sikhuluma ngomuntu
Meyiwa, do you agree?
That is what I'm told.
le statement futhi siyasho ukuthi abantu bekade bephakathi endlini bebakade bebathathu wakade kunabantu besifazane ababini no Senzo uthi njengoba ngangikade ngitshela.
You were further told, as you say, the statement that Moses Sibiya, let me just put it, Moses Sibiya was not inside the house when Senzo was shot. Is that correct?
That is written down. I was told. It's correct.
Uthi futhi wena ushilo ukuthi umsolwa umuzi Sibiya wayekade.
This is a plan pretended to be a robbery. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Futhi lesi statement siyaqhubeka siphinda sithi lokhu kwakade kuhleliwe ingathi kwakade kuyobanjwa inkunzi iqiniso uthi yebo.
And this statement further said the firearm that was used to kill Senzo was sold to another person in KwaZulu-Natal. Is that so?
That's correct, my lord.
Uthi futhi lesi statement siyasho futhi ukuthi isibhamu esisetshenziswe ukubulala uSenzo siye sathengiselwa umuntu thizeni waseNatal kunjalo uthi yebo iqiniso.
And it further mentioned the amount that was shed and the amount that was paid to Inyanga, the 50 rand plus the 5,000 rand. Is that so?
That's correct.
Uthi futhi siyaphinda lesi statement sichaze nemali ukuthi iye yahlukaniswa imali futhi eye yakhokhelwa nakuyinyanga i-50 rand ne-5,000 uthi yebo iqiniso.
Before-
Plus, sorry, my lord, plus 30, plus another 30,000 to the accused.
Futhi siqhubeka sibhala neyokuthi umsolwa uye wanikwa i-80,000.
And this statement further talks about Kelly Kumalo having contracted with these people mentioned in the statement to kill Senzo Meyiwa. Correct?
That's correct.
Uthi futhi le statement siyaphinda siyasho ukuthi uKelly Khumalo wayekade eqashe labantu laba ukuthi babulale uSenzo Meyiwa kunjalo uthi yebo iqiniso.
All right. Let's just pause it there. When you were taking this statement, at the time when Moses Sibiya was brought to you, during the course of taking the statement, were there any clarification questions that you asked Temba in relation to what he was saying according to you?
Yes, there are clarification questions.
Ngalesikhathi uthatha lesi statement sikhona isikhathi nala ukuthi kuye kwaba nemibuzo ebekade uyibuza umuzi ukucacisa okuthize uthi yebo ikhona imibuzo yokucacisa.
I just want you to take the court to that room where you were with Themba Sibiya when he was making the second statement. Okay. Those questions, can you give an example of the question that maybe you clarify for you to write after satisfaction?
Like the question that I remember, I won't remember all of them because they are
Yes,
not
just
written
one
down.
question. If
But
any
one that I remember,
yes.
I asked him, how did he explain things that happened inside the house while he was outside? That's when starting to tell me, according to
Ouye wambuza wona ukuthi uze ucacise njengoba uthi kuyimibuzo yokucacisa. Uthi ngiye ngambuza ukuthi waze njani izinto ezenzakele phakathi endlini njengoba ungitshela uthi kula umsolwa yena uye wathi ubuya ngabo ingakho ugcine sekabhala iphoyisa ukuthi umsolwa uthi ubuya ngabo bebamtshela buyayithi.
I applaud you, Colonel, for that question or for that clarification. And you know that it amounts to
Kodwa uyazi ukuthi lokho kufakazi akusubufakazi okwamkelekayo la enkantolo lokho kufakazi okubizwa phecelezi i-hearsay ukuthi uzwe amahebezi uthi yebo ngiyazi ukuthi lokho kufakazi kweyukuthi ngibuzwe kumuntu ethi.
Marco is no more, he's late, he's dead. He cannot come and give evidence. Do you agree?
that's correct, my lord.
Umarco akasaphili ngeke akwazi ukuthi eze ezophana ngobufakazi uthi uyavuma uthi yebo ngiyavuma.
Sorry, do you know the whereabouts of Makimbi?
I
Do you
don't
know?
understand me.
Yes, you. Do you know? If you don't know, you are not forced to answer.
I don't know.
Thank you.
Uyazi ukuthi ukumakhimbi uthi cha angikwazi.
So when you say, lastly, when you were referred to paragraph 14 of the annexure, maybe one or two questions before I rest. You were asked about the condition that accused number one was at the time he was making the statement.
I don't understand the question, my lord.
You were asked about the condition of accused of Themba Sibiya when he was making that statement in reference to paragraph 14 of
Paragraph 14.
of the pro forma. Paragraph 14.
What I was asked, my lord, I want to get the
You
question.
were asked about the condition of accused of Themba Sibiya in relation when you were taking the statement as to
About paragraph
all right,
14.
Will you be able to read paragraph 14 there?
Thank
Which
you,
the
my lord.
state has read. Ask me.
You're quoting the wrong paragraph, sir.
Is it 13?
No, you see when it talks about the demeanor,
No, my apology if it's
it's where it says observation of the justice
yes.
of the peace with regard to the deponent, clothing, appearance,
Oh.
attitude. That's why
I
you're
beg your
referring to
pardon.
that.
I beg your, I'm referring to the paragraph. Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
It's not paragraph 14.
No.
It's not even marked.
Yes.
What paragraph? It's just a conclusion. Observation of justice of peace with regard to the deponent. I'm asking that.
Yes. You were asked about that.
Yes, I was.
Yes. Will you comment about his state of mind?
Yes, his clothing, mind, his attitude. He was very positive and he relaxed, freely, talking.
Manje ungakwazi ukuchaza ukuthi ingqondo umsolwa wayekade enjani uthi yebo umsolwa ubonakele njengomuntu wayekade ezimisele futhi wayekade ekhululekile ekhuluma.
All right. Sorry, but were you told that Themba Sibiya was arrested on the same day? Were you informed before you took a statement that he was arrested on the same day?
No, I was not informed. Only him who told me when he was arrested, when I go through the pro forma.
Uye watshelwa na ukuthi uThemba Sibiya uboshwe ngalelo langa njengoba wawukade uthatha istatement cha angitshelwanga uyena ongitshelile yena uqobo lwakhe ngalesikhathi bengikade ngithatha lesi statement.
My final question is, if you look at page 1 on the bottom of that statement, there's a thumbprint and the signature of the accused. Do you agree?
That's correct,
First
my
page
lord.
of.
That's correct, my lord.
Uthi yebo ngiyavuma ukuthi ku page 1 ukhona isithupha sakhe umsolwa ne signature.
Was it necessary to to let the deponent to sign the annexure, the last page? Was it necessary for him to sign the last page and to attach his thumbprint there? Was it necessary?
The last page, my lord,
Last page of the statement, of the annexure,
of the annexure.
where you,
Yes, it was necessary, my lord.
why do you say that? Why do you say that it was necessary?
Because it's his statement.
Thank you.
Bekubalekile na ukuthi umsolwa asayine ekugcineni kwestatement uthi yebo bekubalekile ukuzo ukuthiwa kungani uthi bekubalekile uthi ngoba bekuyistatement sakhe.
No further question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramsey.
If it may please the court, my lord, I don't have any questions for the witness.
Thank Mr. Mnisi. Thank you, Mr. Umalo.
My lord, I have no questions. Thank you.
Ms. Mshorolo.
No questions, my lord.
Any re-examination?
Just perhaps one aspect, my lord. Mr. Mgomezulu asked you about the contents of the statement. For instance, you were asked, or it was put to you that Marco is dead and you can't give evidence. Do you know anything about what was said in the statement?
I don't understand which statement, my lord.
Yes.
Which statement?
Mr. Mgomezulu asked you questions about the contents of the statement. For instance, he put it to you that Marquay is dead and can't give evidence, and you said you agree. The question is, do you know anything about the contents of the statement?
That's where I'm getting lost again.
Yes.
Which statement?
Yes,
This
the
one
annexure.
or Marco's statement?
No, the annexure.
All right, what about it?
Were you just writing what accused
The
one was
accused
telling
one was
you?
telling
Do you
me.
know anything about his contents? Let's put it to you this way. Mr. Mgomezulu put it to you that Marco is dead and cannot give evidence. And you said you agree. The question is, do you know anything about the contents, what is said in the statement, what is contained in the statement? Or
No, I
were
said,
you, yes,
which statement? This one?
yes, the
I
annex,
know the contents of the statement. I'm the one who wrote it.
but you know the truthfulness thereof, or were you just writing
No,
what the accused was
no,
telling you?
no, I can't know. I can't know it.
Thank you.
Whether I'm telling the truth or I'm
Yes.
telling lies,
Okay,
I can't know.
thank you. That is all.
Manje umnumzana uMgomezulu ubuzile ukuthi uMarco yena usekashonile ngeke akwazi ukuzophana ngobufakazi. Wena uyazi na ubuqiniso bakulelo statement, lesi statement esibhaliwe na uthi mina ngibhale njengoba ngangikade ngitshelwa, angazi ukuthi ngangitshelwa ayi iqiniso noma ngangikade ngitshelwa amanga.
Yeah, just a few elucidatory questions, because the state has to prove that it was indeed, the statement was indeed made by accused number 1, meaning the contents thereof, you heard them from him. Are you saying that?
That's correct, my lord. I get it from the accused.
What about his address? Did you know where he was staying before you met him on that particular day?
No, my lord. I just hear from him whatever address he gave.
And Umkulu,
I didn't know about Mkulu, my lord.
you
So
didn't even know
got it-
Umkulu.
No, I got it from the accused.
Okay. And the amounts
I got
payable or paid?
the money, I got it from the accused. The
And
amount,
all these different names,
I got it from the accused, my lord.
Madimba, Marco, Do you know them personally?
No, my lord, I only saw the accused for the first time, and then he gave me those names.
Wawukade wazi na ukuthi umsolwa uhlala phi? Uthi cha ngangingazi, ikheli lakhe ngilaze ngitshelwa uye. Wawukade wazi lamagama lawo bekade ekhuluma ngawo oMakhimba nabanye uthi cha bangade ngingabazi ngizwe ngaye. Inkantolo yambuza futhi nokuthi umkhulu waze kanjani ngomkhulu uthi ngiyaziswe uye nemali ukuthi bekade kuyokhokhelwa ngiyaziswe uye umsolwa ukuthi imalini ebekade ukhokhelwe umkhulu.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, my lord.
Usekaqedile ke ngobufakazi bakhe.
As a court, please, my lord, may we then adjourn to Monday? These are the only two witnesses that we
Yes,
had
sir.
lined up for today.
Okay.
Ushisi uyacela ukuthi icala lihlekishelwe ngomsombuluko abufakazi ibona laba kuphela ababizile namhlanje.
Monday will be the 18th of March.
Okay, let's adjourn until Monday.
Imela, staan die operatie voor Sudumani, Mani? Goeie tijd.